Welcome you all back to my YouTube channel. So this is the first question that we are going to start with. I'm going to make these questions very simple. So this is the first one which we are solving. We are learning how to solve equations. So how can you answer this equation? So if you are new to this YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the like button. So how can you solve this equation? Before you solve this equation, the first thing that you need to know is that when you've got a number like, let's say you've got a number like 4 in the root, have you seen? This is just the same as 4 raised to the power 1 over 2. These two are just the same. So how can you solve this now? So this, it is in the root. 3y minus 2 is under the root. So it is just the same as 3y minus 2 in brackets like this to the power 1 over 2, which is equal to what? Which is equal to 1. So when you reach here, how do you go about this question? You multiply by a reciprocal of a power here so that we cancel the power that is having a variable. So what is the reciprocal of 1 over 2? It is what? It is 2. The same 2 that you've multiplied here, you put it here. So when you are having a neutral number like 1, which means it is having power 1, so you say times what? Times 2. You put a 2 there. This is what you need to do. So you know that this, when you multiply 1 times 2, it is 2. 2 over 2, it's 1. So that's the same as cancelling these 2. You are going to remain with 3y minus 2, which is equal to, it is equal to what? What is 1 times 2? It is 2. Then 1 to the power 2 means 1 times 1. What are you going to have? You are going to have 1. So just same as we've got a 1 here. When you reach here now, you need to group the like terms together. So we just need to group the like terms. So how do you group the like terms when you reach here? How do you group the like terms? You say 3y is equal to, you've got a 1 here. When this 2 comes this side, since it is crossing the equal to sign, the sign will change. We are going to have a positive 2 like that. So after having something like that, then you say 3y is equal to what? Is equal to 3. Then the next thing that you are going to do is where you divide both sides by 3, you also divide by 3 so that these can cancel out. You remain with therefore y is equal to 3 divided by 3, it is 1. So this is our answer. This is how we get to answer that equation, and that's how you need to work it out. So these are procedures that you need to learn. These are things that you need to follow. So now let us look at another question that is involving indices. We look at another question that is involving indices. So this is the question. So we move to the other question. Let us move to the other question. We move to the other question. So this question is like this. It is saying 2 to the power 2m minus 3 is equal to what? 8 to the power m. This is an equation which you are told to solve. How can you solve such an equation? We are dealing with indices. So we need to make sure that this number that is here and this number that is here, they are in the same base. So 8 can come to base 2, but 2 cannot go to base 8. So we change 8 to base 2. So we are going to say 2m minus 3 is equal to, so 8 to base 2. How many times can you multiply 2 to have 8? 2 times 2, 4. Times 2, we are going to get what? 8. So how many times? 3 times. So it's just the same as 2 to the power 3 in brackets, then I put m outside. This is what I'm going to do. Then I continue and say 2m minus 3 is equal to 2 to the power, you multiply there. So what are you going to have? 3m like that. Since we are having the same bases, these two bases are going to equate. The language that we normally understand is that they are going to cancel out. Then we get the powers. So 2m minus 3, which is equal to 3m. This is an equation that we formed. From here, what do we do next? We group the right terms. So this one will come this other side. This one will come this other side. So we are going to have what? Let's say we are going to have 2m. So when this one comes this side, it becomes minus 3m, which is equal to, this is negative 3. When it goes this side, it becomes positive 3. This is an equation that we are having. So how can we go about this equation? How can we go about this equation? You say 2 minus 3, it's negative 1. So it's negative m. You cannot say negative 1m. Negative m, which is equal to 3. You've got a negative there. How do? You divide both sides by negative 1. You also divide here by negative 1. Such that this negative cancelled. Then we are going to have m, which will be equal to what? Negative 3. This is your answer. So negative into positive, it is negative. This is your answer. So that's how you get to answer such a question. So when you're given such a question in an exam, this is what you need to do. Let us now move to the last question. Let us move to the other question, which will be our last question. So if you are new to this YouTube channel, if you don't know that we offer tuitions, I'm going to give you my number after this lesson so that I can help you in mathematics, science, chemistry, physics. So we've got x minus 3 then power 2 is equal to 18. We've got this question. How can you answer this question? So before you look at the power, you need to make sure that here the coefficient is 1 here. So we divide both sides by what? By 2. We divide both sides by 2. So that we remain with what? These are going to cancel out. We remain with x minus 3 squared, which is equal to what? 18 divided by 2, it is 9, like that. That's what we are going to have. When you reach here, you introduce the square root. You also introduce the square root to both sides. So this square root and this square, they are going to cancel. So this square root and this square, they are going to cancel. You are going to remain with x minus 3, which is equal to plus or minus 3. You know that the square root of any number, either it is a negative or a positive. So we get negative 3 or positive 3. So from here, what are we going to do? This is the same as x is equal to, so when 3 comes this side, it is positive 3, where you say plus or minus 3, like this. This is what we are going to do. So from here, you can now continue where you say x is equal to 3 plus 3, or x is equal to 3 minus 3. This is what we are going to do. So x is equal to 6. This is your first answer. Or x is equal to 0. So these are the two answers that you need to get. These are the two answers that we need to get. So x is equal to 6 or x is equal to 0. So if you are looking for tuitions, I can help you with mathematics, chemistry, and physics for high school students or secondary school students. Even the GCEs, you can contact me on this number 0971 06 6747. This is my number 0971 06 6747. Thank you so much. Hope you've learned something, and if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, make sure we subscribe. Thank you.